Well, Chucky, all good things must come to an end. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Child's Play, Episode 8, the season finale. And this is a knee-jerk reaction. I am here to talk about how it all shaked out, how it all went down. Spoilers, of course, ahead, people. This episode, was it worth my time? Did it wrap everything up with a nice bow? Yeah, it did. I liked it. But of course, being a big Chucky fan, I was left wanting a little more. I can't speak for all Chucky fans, but I thought it could have been a little better. And that's basically what this show ended up being. It was good all the way through, but at the end of the day, I could have used a little more, but also at the end of the day, not bad for what it is. I'm glad this is around, and I'm glad to announce, if you don't know yet, and it's been announced, obviously, the last couple of days, that there's going to be a season 2, and I will be tuning in for that. Overall, was this amazing? No. Overall, was it good? Yes. Overall, was the season finale amazing? No. Overall, was it good? Again, yes. Let's get into it. So, we left off last episode with Andy walking up on Junior's place after Chucky had just helped volunteer Junior into killing his father, Devon Salia, R.I.P. Mr. Final Destination Man. And we also had Devin, in the clutches of Nika Chucky. And Devin in this one, he's able to get free, so that's great. Not at the expense of some crazy shit happening with Andy and Cal. Explosions, anyone, but we'll get to that more. Junior encounters Andy, and he even makes a joke about how Andy's like, man, he's not much taller than you. And it was at that point I Googled it and was like, man, is Andy Barclay really that short? Or Alex Vincent, the actor that plays him, really that short? Yes, he's actually 5'5". He is that short. And then right after I unpaused it and watched it, as he was walking up behind Junior, I was like, damn, I did not notice he was that short as an adult. And, we kind of get, I should say, I guess we, because we're following his footsteps, we're team Andy here, I would hope. Or maybe, you know what, I say that, but I say that begrudgingly, because, we love our horror villains. But he's, like, oh, I'm a collector. That's how I met your cousin Jake. We didn't know it's his cousin yet. After he's like, I'm his cousin, blah, blah, blah. But he's like, that's how I know Jake. And then he's just proceeding to be a complete creep. He's like walking around like, mind if I check in here? Can we call your dad if he left with the doll? Do you think he'd do that? Were you going to take a bath? Let me put my hand in your bath. Your bath is cold. First off, I'm Junior. Why are you not just being like, look, bro, you said you come over to look for a doll. Get the fuck out of my house. What are you, the cops? The fuck is all this questioning? I don't think it would have been that weird if he just did that. So that was a little puzzling to me because he was a little, too forward with all that shit. Devin, man. Devin, and I'm not talking Devon Salia. Everything that went down with Devin. We have a moment here where we think Devin, Andy, and Cal all get blown to Kingdom Come by a booby trap set by Jennifer Tilly as her and fucking Nika, Chucky, and other Chucky all are having it out. And Jennifer Tilly is literally about, just about to like lose her shit because you got Nika Chucky about to kill Jennifer Tilly, and then she, as she's about to die, other Chucky comes in because there's so many Chuckies again, like Cult of Chucky, which is kind of cool, kind of not. I go back and forth with it. I don't know. It's a weird on and off again feeling. Like moments of the episode, I'm like, yeah. Other moments of the episode, I'm like, it's too much. I just want one fucking single Chucky. But then the other Chucky comes in doll form. This guy back here, it's a replica. Just kidding. That's Child's Play 3. But he's like, we can't kill her. She's right. Like, she's right. And then, Nika Chucky's like, all right, fine. And basically, by the end of it, fucking Jennifer Tilly is like wiping off Chucky's head, the doll. And, losing her mind before, of course, the booby trap. Everything was said as I was just referring to. And, you have that situation you've seen in so many movies where they're like telling the other actors like, stop, no. And you saw it coming a mile away. Kyle was coming in from the outside, and Alex Vincent, Andy Barclay, I should say, the character, and Devin are inside, and Andy's like, stop, wait, Kyle, no. and Kyle doesn't wait. And a big explosion happens. And then you cut back to Jake a little bit later. He sees on his phone, the residence that exploded, and he knows, Devin's in there. So that's a big moment for him, as him and Devin were just basically becoming, boyfriend and boyfriend. So that was a huge shock to him. And I actually thought that was kind of sad. I liked the music that played. It made it, kind of intense. But at the same time, though, like, it was so short-lived. Like, right after that, Devin coming in and, like, Jake's like, oh, my God, I thought you were dead. I thought they could have milked that a little bit more. Wasn't as rewarding as it could have been due to that. It was just too short-lived. There wasn't enough sorrow for long enough, I guess you could say. And, they have their moment, they kiss, and they're back on track. Like, it's basically like, yeah, we're fucking boyfriend and boyfriend now, dude. We're a thing. We are a couple. So they've all but basically, nailed that down. Meanwhile, Junior is just batshit fucking crazy. All this shit gets led to the theater where, the mayor and all that, they're having the Frankenstein movie play, which is a classic, of course. If you like Universal Monsters, it's a great fucking movie. And I will say this last little shakedown at this, like, theater is actually, pretty entertaining. I like, all this shit going on silhouetted with Frankenstein's monster in the fucking background, or just Frankenstein. Let's just call it what it is. Frankenstein in the background. And I love how it kind of like plays within the show, where the show's kind of coming to a conclusion and the movie is kind of coming to conclusion as all this is going on at the same time. Of course, in Frankenstein, where they're like, come on down, and they got their torches and all that, is almost simultaneously exactly when this all ends. And then, of course, it does simultaneously end with, like, the end on the screen after Jake finally has his moment. But other things that go down. Mr. Blank on the spot. What is her name? How in the fuck? And I got this down. I know her name. This is killing me. The main girl that's with them, Junior's girlfriend. Yes, Junior's girlfriend. There you go. But what is her name, though? Junior's girlfriend. Is it Lindsay? Dude, I talk about way too many fucking things. We're just going to say Junior's girlfriend for right now because I don't have it in front of me. But, yeah, Lexi. That's what it is. Lexi, not Lindsay. Lexi. God dang it, I'm such a fuck up. No, I'm just playing. Or am I, though? Lexi's parents are there, and you really get to see her dad is, like, the first victim. Because Lexi's mom comes back with some popcorn. She's like, here, have some popcorn, what I miss. And he's just bleeding out of his mouth in the popcorn. She goes to grab some, takes a bite, and she's like, this doesn't taste right, is it? Does it? And then she looks over and is like, oh my God. And that just starts a killing frenzy where Chucky's just like stabbing everybody through the seats, like through the anus, vagina, dick, whatever you got down there. Yeah. Kind of cool, Not the coolest ever, but I will give it this. It actually kind of feels like a massacre, which is more, not like a full-on one, but at least somewhat of a massacre, which is more than what I can say for the Child's Play remake with the whatever Mart massacre, not the Walmart massacre, but we'll call it Walmart just for the sake of this, because, again, I'm terrible with names. That whole Walmart massacre, was just killing everybody inside of there in the Child's Play reboot remake. I always complained how there wasn't enough of the massacre. You didn't see enough death. You didn't see a whole lot of, flat out killings, but you at least saw Chucky going under seats, stabbing people. So there was stabbings going on amongst everybody trampling and running over each other. And all while this is going on, Junior has led Lexi with Chucky the doll behind, the movie screen. And he's trying to talk Lexi into, coming with them. And Chucky's on the other side, which, Lexi, I don't know why you're turning your back to Chucky. He could stab you at any time. That just seems odd to me. And she's trying to talk Junior out of it. And by the end of it, Chucky's like, I'm getting sick. Like, he's hating this every second of it. But Junior actually does kind of come around. You're thinking, like, he might go and stab her, but he surpasses Lexi, stabs Chucky, and you're like, oh my God. And he's just like, you're not like us. And I'm even sitting there, I'm like, Junior, were you ever even really like that, or were you just kind of persuaded, dickhead? But it doesn't just stop there. It kind of zooms away and it reveals Junior got stabbed in the chest. And that's a nice little, sad kind of scene. They did his character justice the way they handled it. It didn't feel like he was just a flat out dick. Like he actually had somewhat of a moment of redemption. And then on the outside, when the last Chucky is getting fucking murdered by Jake, he's over there just like, I've been doing push-ups, bitch, was kind of fucking corny. I didn't take it seriously, but he's like, I don't need the knife, and he like holds Chucky's head. But it was a cool kill. He like squeezed Chucky's neck till his eyeballs popped out. Don't get pissed at me, bro. And they fell out, and he's like, that's my boyfriend, or whatever the fuck. That's my boyfriend. Is there a bitch at the end of that? I don't remember. Or dickhead, that's my boyfriend. I think there's another, last expletive after that's my boyfriend. And that's just showing you like, oh, it's official now with Jake and Devin. And then they walk out. They hear the horrible news about Junior from Lexi. That was tough. And guess what? Jennifer Tilly has some shit up her sleeve with a doll talking to the UPS driver or whatever the fuck he is. What do they call him in this show? A FedEx driver, UPS driver. You get the point. And she's like, make sure it's there on time or I'll kill you. I'm just kidding. And she's like, but not really. Haha, little do you know, asshole. And then who's there? Andy Barclay is still fucking alive. I don't know about Kyle, probably not, but Andy Barclay is still alive. I feel like Kyle has to be dead. You're doing too much at this point if Kyle is not fucking dead. Like, Devin survived, Andy survived, Kyle survived, all survived the explosion. What the fuck is going on here? But Andy's alive. We can dig that to at least some degree, even though it's not very likely, but whatever. But if all three survive, that's too much. Even though we'd like to see Cal. Or would we? I don't know. These older versions, actor versions, they're just not doing it for me as much as I love Cal. One of my favorite female characters in any horror movie. It's still a little weird seeing them reprising their roles as adults. I don't know, man. I just don't know if they got it like that, but to keep the camaraderie going and see what they do with it, I would have at least liked one of them to live, and Andy makes the most sense. So, not bad seeing him back. But as he's like slamming into Jennifer Tilly, the human version, with the fucking UPS truck or whatever, out of the back of the truck comes out Jennifer Tilly, the doll. It's the first time we've seen Tiffany, I should call her. And she's got a gun. And she's like, you haven't seen me yet, have you? And it's like, oh, shit. Kind of cool seeing Tiffany. And I got to tell you, much like they've done a pretty damn good job with Chucky, the animatronics department and all that, it looked pretty good for Tiffany, too. So that's a very big positive going forward. It wasn't like they got lucky with Chucky. How's Tiffany going to look? Tiffany looked good, too. I really liked the characters. Do not come out of your box, bitch. I say that lovingly. And, yeah. And then you get not Tiffany. The way they go back and forth with names in the show, especially somebody that's terrible with names, as much as I know, like, the main cast names, like Jennifer Tilly, Andy Barclay, Alex Vincent, all that type of shit, Chucky, Charles Lee Ray, anything you need to know. It's the new characters that it's hard for me to wrap around, but it's still, like, all over the place, like this version of this person, this version of this person. It'll mix me around, being the bad name person I am. But Jennifer Tilly, playing herself, the adult, real person version, has Nika back over there. And Nika, as the camera fades, is in pain, and her legs have been sawed the fuck off, and now her arms are also gone. So that's kind of a haunting image to leave you with. And that's, like, where are we going from here? I don't know exactly, but as much as, like, I was, like, into the show, and I was like, I like it a lot, even loved one episode, by the end of it, I kind of was like, yeah, I think I just like it. I don't really like it. I don't love it. I just like it, because it never really formed into something special like I thought it had the chance to. It kind of just floated along just at this pace with one episode that raised me up. But I am interested enough to where I'm like, this isn't, like, on the level of, I'll admit that, like, of the other two shows I'm reviewing and watching right now, and Dexter and Yellow Jackets, but it's enough for me to come back for another season for sure. And even if it was terrible, I probably still would come back, because God dang it, like, I love Chucky, okay? What can you do? You're like, I'd be like, I'm not watching that, it's a piece of shit. And then it's like, I gotta turn it on. I gotta know. I just have to. It's my guy. I gotta be there for my guy through thick and thin. But yeah, my good guy over there. Over there? Is he over there? No. Yeah, enough of that bad joke. But yeah, overall, Chucky's solid, man. Chucky was a solid show. I'm not trying to hate. I still think it was better than what I originally anticipated, but it also didn't necessarily achieve the heights that I then anticipated after the first few episodes and thinking it would grow into something more. It's a good turn your brain off, have fun Chucky show. And if I was ranking it within the movies, it wouldn't be the worst. I would watch this over Cult of Chucky. And yeah, call me crazy. I actually like Seed of Chucky. It's a very low like, but I do like it. I would watch Seed of Chucky. I think, I don't know, it's like back and forth. I'd give Seed of Chucky and this the same score. I'm giving this a 6.5 out of 10. It's solid for what it is. It's good. 6 to me and above is good. It was good. I thought this was going to be average at best. So you still exceeded expectations. I still enjoyed your show. Hell yeah. Bring it on back. There's some things that you did really well here. Some other things that were like hit or miss. There's a lot that I think you can improve on, and you've carried enough of that essence of what makes Chucky great over, because Brad Dourif was amazing in this. The characters could use a little more from them. I'm not very into them necessarily, but I'm also not hating them. But it's enough to where I'm like, fuck, man, if we just had like a little bit better of characters, I don't know. It's a mixed bag. But overall, with Brad Dourif's performance, Mancini's direction, and yes, I'm saying that, there's enough here to where it's special enough. And then Jennifer Tilly, of course, coming back. And then Nika, she's amazing. I like it. Yes, overall, I did like it. I will give this a 6.5 overall out of 10, if I didn't say that. In this episode, I'd probably give like a 7. Yeah, it was good. But 6.5 out of 10 overall score. Love you guys. Brandon out. Let me know what y'all thought of this episode and even more importantly, the show in general. Let me know, man. Love that conversation. Y'all have a good one. See ya.